This is probably the only time that anyone should ever say, "Isn't Twilight great?" We begin on the distant planet Heck, I mean Apocalypse, as Darkseid is just standing around doing evil things, which should be surprising to no one. After pissing off the good side of the new gods and having one of his own ships dumped back onto his own planet, he's warned that if he attempts to break the treaty with the new gods again, he'll regret it. Meanwhile, we finally learn of Hawkgirl's backstory.
I tracked the criminals back to their fortress, but like a rank amateur I stumbled right into a trap. By all rights I should be dead. Their particle beam ripped my molecules apart and shot them halfway across the cosmos.
And you've no idea where home is?
Jean, Thanagar is so far away. We've never even come into contact with the Green Lantern Corps.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. So worth waiting a season and a half to find out that information, especially when it's not even true. Back with Darkseid, he fries one of his men, because he's Darkseid, he doesn't really need a reason, as his ship appears, which can only mean one thing.
It's death.
Darkseid arrives on the watchtower and straight away, Superman gives no fucks.
You!
Stop him before he knocks us out of orbit!
Superman, don't!
Let go!
Even when Darkseid says that Apocalypse would be destroyed.
Once he's finished siphoning the memory banks and technology of my planet,
He'll annihilate it. Good.
Seriously, he gives no fucks. Darkseid warns the League that Brainiac has appeared on Apocalypse and will surely come for Earth once he has had his way with Darkseid's planet. The League goes, but Superman has a suspicion, so sends Batman on a separate mission. On Apocalypse, both Darkseid's forces and the League have trouble trying to get through Brainiac's shield, whilst Batman and Wonder Woman have gone to New Genesis, the good twin of Apocalypse, where they encounter Forager.
They call me Forager.
Do you know someone named Orion?
Orion? I am just an unworthy bug.
Who is not the overly sexualized version I know from the comics, who dated Jimmy Olsen. They also encounter Light Ray.
We're not bugs.
We're certainly not gods.
Hey! Come back here!
Only if you catch me!
He spanked Wonder Woman on the ass. He spanked Wonder Woman on the ass. And that edit was so weirdly cut it makes me think they may have at one point shown it happening. Finally, Batman and Wonder Woman find who they were looking for.
Hold still. We won't hurt you.
No. You most certainly will not.
Back with Brainiac, the League finally manages to get through the shield, with Superman confronting him. The combined forces destroying Brainiac's device as his ship takes off, the League following him to an asteroid.
Oh my stars, what is that thing?
We'll know soon enough.
Shaped like his head. Yeah, he's a subtle one, Brainiac, I'll give him that. Superman, Hawkgirl and Jean are brought to Brainiac, and of course Superman rejects working alongside the Psycho, so he attacks the trio. Back on New Genesis, nothing is really happening. Basically, we should do something, but we can't. Lives here have already been lost, blah blah blah. Seriously, this is one of the few times a section of this show has felt like padding. Back with Brainiac, surprise surprise, he and Darkseid are working together. And what's that? Darkseid is betraying Brainiac and taking control over the ship? Well, I'll be here, I thought he could be trusted. Being fed up with the indecision of New Genesis, Orion takes both Wonder Woman and Batman to where Darkseid is. The new trio comes to the rescue of the old trio and begins to wreck various systems of Brainiac's ship, which will soon destroy the asteroid. The League goes to leave, but Superman stays behind, with Batman going looking for him. Darkseid, meanwhile, has been fighting Orion, his own son, which I'd explain, but it's not that important. However, Orion loses to Darkseid as Superman shows up, intent on finishing this fight once and for all.
Any minute now, Brainiac will explode. And guess what? You're going with him.
The grueling fight between the two ends with Superman victorious, but with Darkseid still alive. Superman looks to finish him off, but Batman appears, getting both Superman and Orion to safety.
loser.
Back on New Genesis, things happen, they aren't really important. Whilst John comforts Hawkgirl on possibly one day finding her own planet. ending the episode. Okay, while I do love this episode and all the double crossing it involves, which is why multiple villains are always so fun if they're pure evil, and the build up to the episode is pretty wonderful as well, along with Superman just basically going mental and straight up intending to kill Darkseid one way or another, which is how he should be given how the last episode of Superman's series ended. It's just a great episode to watch. However, the scenes on New Genesis of Wonder Woman and Batman meeting Forager and Light Ray and Orion, they just feel like padding. It doesn't feel like it serves much purpose in the overall story of the episode. It's as if someone slipped up and dropped parts of another storyline in from somewhere else entirely. But I'll admit it's a possibility I'm wrong, and maybe there is something there to connect the two in some sort of parallel storyline, and maybe I'm just missing it completely. But for now, this episode has some great moments, but it's time for the twilight of this episode at number 9. Hey people, and thanks for watching this video. If you want to see the next one of these a full day before anybody else, you can do that by supporting me on my Patreon page. However, if you're watching this on my Patreon page, then thanks for your support.